I guess I'm speaking to myself, but like truly just focus on your race, because the only time you get to start to lose the race, I guess, is when you looking.
So watching the person next to you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you looking at the people next to you, towards whatever we're trying to get out of life. You'll get there eventually, as long as you like lay the groundwork and you just work and pin your ears back and just get it done. The time frame doesn't matter. Don't let anything outside of that distract you, and align yourself with people who have the same mindset.
I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting. I'm just fitting. This shit have been on my mind for quite some time. I gotta put the shit on the line. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
Welcome back, all the way to hell back to yet
another one.
An emergency episode of
It
Dropping
had to
Dymes podcast. Had to happen. As y'all know, our neighborhood influencer, Roger. Go home, Roger.
That man said, I got 72 hours.
I got 72 hours. What y'all gonna do? Barbecue a meal, dude. I said, man, pull up.
Pull up, Saudi. Welcome back, my brother.
Glad to be back for the short time that I'm here. But
Hey, look, does my man even need an introduction?
I think so. Still, I think so.
We
Still,
just happy to be in
on
the presence, man. We just happy to be in the presence.
Happy to be in the presence.
First, let's do a little housekeeping. If it's your first time or your 115th time
Ooh-wee.
coming to rock with us, as you already know, my name is Byron,
I'm Wallace.
and this
your boy Roger, man.
The-
You know what I'm saying?
the
Roger.
big homie Roger.
Roger Ward. Yep.
If y'all don't know anything about us, y'all know that Roger was our very first guest.
Very first guest.
Came through, set us on fire, man.
Boy.
Made
I
us
said,
feel
we ain't seen numbers like that yet since.
Listen, I was about to say, made us feel like if we had more guests, we'd get more numbers. Not saying that we didn't,
Yeah.
but we didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Roger's the homie, man. Roger played on our flag football team with us for a while before deciding to take his talents out west.
West, baby.
Roger took all his awesomeness and went to Arizona, man. And since he's been
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, since he's been in Arizona, he has done everything. He has taught school, took pictures.
Yeah, some dope ass pictures too.
Started flying airplanes. He started building cars.
Man, here you go, man.
He
dug his
selling
feet.
houses,
He dug his
buying
bare
houses.
feet in the desert sand.
houses.
That man just said, "Man, I'm gonna do it all in Arizona, man.
I'm gonna do it my way, man.
My way," and I respect it.
I do, man.
And of course, for real, anytime Roger come in town, man, we're gonna try to do our best to get up with him.
Yeah.
Even whether it's here or off camera, we're gonna do our best to get up with our guy, man. Yeah. All around good dude. Speaking of good dudes, if you get a chance, go by www.droppingdymes.com. Pick up some merch. Get yourself
a Y,
hat.
baby. With a Y.
Dymes with a Y. Get yourself a hat. We ain't got on the hats today. Get yourself a shirt. We ain't got on the shirts today because guess what? This was an emergency episode.
Still in the wash. Hey man, shout out Brandon McGatty, man. We miss you, dog.
Yeah.
It's the second time you ain't been here, bro. When man, look, I'm starting to think it's personal.
Hey, it might be.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It
what's
might
up,
be.
man? God,
That man say he say whatever on his heart, but he don't show up when you show up.
I mean, be
all
busy,
good,
man.
Actions speak louder than words, don't they?
If y'all get a
just
chance
starting some shit.
and you want to know where Roger come from, go back, check out the old episode.
Man.
Check out the first time Roger came through and set us on fire. So go and subscribe, share, comment, hit the like button.
What Roger say?
Hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Turn on them notifications.
Turn on them notifications.
We ain't know nothing
you'll
about that till Roger
so
came
you'll
out
know
here.
something about the emergency episode of Dropping Dymes podcast. You understand,
man.
As you know, we jump right on into it.
Yeah,
We got
man.
a question of the week. And guess what? I don't even got it. Wallace got the question of
And
the
I
week.
actually thought of it a little bit before the episode this
There
time.
you go. So run it, my guy. Run it.
Hey, so a lot of times, like people, especially kids, you think like kids ain't confident enough to just do their own thing. They got to do what the crowd do, and then honestly, you see in society a lot of people do what the crowd does. Are you okay with going your own direction when it's opposite of what the crowd or what's popular or what everybody the fad is at that time?
1,000%.
Obviously for you.
Yeah. I've done that basically my entire life. I would say everything I pretty much do is unorthodox. Cause I mean, shit, even with like wearing shoes outside, everybody got on a pair of shoes.
Roger don't.
Roger's
barefoot.
Stretching them toes, man.
I mean, it's just, I think a part of that though is, I think some people are just naturally just rebellious. I think you can learn how to be rebellious, but I still think there's some sort of natural rebellion that some of us have in us. Mm-hmm. And I think that I was born with that because I just, like, for example, even though Crocs are extremely popular right now, Crocs came out, I want to say when I was in high school, I want to say like 10th grade or something like that, like 9th to 10th grade.
Yeah. Shit was whack then.
Yeah, but like, it was kind of hot for a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, being that everybody got a pair of Crocs, I don't want none. Or like when Adidas tracksuits was like the thing in like 08, 09, I was like, I want a Nike tracksuit. You know what I'm saying?
So you started with Nike Tech, huh?
Man, I just always went, man, like whatever the crowd was doing, I was like, nah, I'm
going
cool.
the
Like
other way.
if it's too popular, if it's like too wavy at the time, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. It's just like with anything, like if there's a new rapper that just came out and everybody is like playing all this music, I'll wait at least maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know, I just always go my own path.
So is it, you say rebel, is it because folks are going that way, you be like, I don't want to do what they doing? Or is it like you feel something pulling you the other direction?
I think it's a combination of both, but it's more so the first thing you said.
Yeah.
Everybody doing it, and I kind of just want to do my own thing. So, I mean, again, I think like there's some type of like naturalness to it, because like I said, I've just always been that way.
Yeah.
Like whatever the crowd doing, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Now, unless I just really, really like it.
But you like it. You like it for you liking it, not because they like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
1,000%. For me, I honestly feel like I've always been unorthodox, but I didn't have the confidence to stay the lane that I was going.
Yeah.
Until maybe a little, I say later in life, but I was still probably in my late teens, early 20s when I was able to be like, you know what, this is what I feel is the right way to go. Yeah. So I was like inclined to go away from the crowd, but because I didn't have the confidence, I always found myself trying to like, I want to be cool. I want to be with everybody else. I don't want to be seen.
Late. You
always
jump in the middle.
Always
in the middle of late. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't know what I'm doing. I'm just there.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time. I say like a long time relative, but in my early 20s in college, I really realized I'm like, bro, what your heart is pulling you to do is right for you. And when I realized that, when it was going, like we play on Saturday, I'm on the hill on Sunday morning by myself. Like I'm gonna go do. Everybody saying, "Nah, you supposed to be tired, man. You supposed to be lazy. Go eat, go hang out with somebody." Nah, I'm gonna be on the hill because I feel like that's right.
True. Yeah,
I'm gonna go study. If I gotta go train, practice, then go study, and then get some sleep to get back early at 5 o'clock, and everybody else trying to go to a party, I'm gonna go do the things that I feel like are pulling me to the thing I want to be.
For sure.
So by the time I got out of college, I was mentally prepared to go my own direction when I got out, and I kind of tend to do that now.
Yeah.
Ain't even no kinda. I'm all the way.
Yeah.
I do me, and I'm cool with it.
I feel you.
What about you, Mr. Cool Guy?
I'm kind of in the same boat.
Man.
Like I never been much of a follower.
Yeah.
Whatever I felt like I wanted to do, I just kind of moved in that direction.
Yeah.
I never really waited for anybody else. Like waiting for people, man, you'll be waiting all your life.
Yeah.
I listened to some older guys like talk about how being a follower can really get you fucked up. And I seen a bunch of niggas go to prison for being followers.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the second guy get caught.
Yeah.
Like we play sports, we know
That
the first guy never get caught.
That was always
right?
me.
The second
I
guy
was the
always
second
get
guy.
caught, right?
I was the second guy through the door.
Yeah.
So the first guy made it through the door.
Yeah.
They caught you like this. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
was me.
Yeah.
I always, one of the things for me was, like my grandfather told me this. He was like, as long as you're doing something by yourself, your chance of getting caught is low. You ain't gonna tell on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And when you move by yourself, you move when you're ready to move.
Right.
If I'm ready to go, I leave.
Yeah.
If I want to stay longer, I stay.
That's true.
Right? Now I ain't gotta. Hey, you
ain't gotta worry
straight,
about
bro?
nobody else's instincts.
Yeah. Or I'm looking at somebody. You good? I'm having a good time. They like, man, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
Guess we gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So if you,
shit, it's time to get out of this bitch. And he's like, nah, brother, have a good time.
man, I'm having a good
bro, it's
time. You
to
like,
go.
I see them niggas over there talking loud and looking
yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
it's time to go, bro.
It's time to beat it.
And with other things, I like even when I was younger, bro. I just realized I need to do what was comfortable and easy for me.
Yeah.
Like even with fashion, like I ain't never really fell into like what everybody else was doing. It might have seemed like it, but I promise you I did it a little bit earlier. And then I just like, that was cool.
Yeah.
But, not everybody doing it, I'm cool on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do seem and feel like you was a leader. Like you did what you want to do and then people followed that.
Yeah, and then I ain't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like because
Why not?
because now we all alike. It was never my intent to be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did what was comfortable, and then what was comfortable for me looked like something else to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So like, how I remember when we was younger, bro. Like not even in high school, like college, and a little bit after, we started wearing like the real big hoop shorts, right? Bro, I used to play in games. Like I was like, give me a 3X. Like I started wearing high numbers so I could get bigger shorts. Cause like all the guard numbers had little shorts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel that. Yeah.
So I was like, give me 45, give me 52.
Yeah.
And they was like, man, them big man numbers. I was like, man, I'm a big man.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted the 3X shorts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get a 3X. I go to cross, I had to pull my shorts up.
This man here, bro.
Because it was going to get stuck on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that was how we wanted to hoop. You know what I'm saying? We wanted the biggest shorts. Yeah. So like, then I realized, like, I was like, man, this ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
And look,
like,
when I got to high school, they was all wearing the big shorts.
Yeah.
Because of this guy.
It was like, I saw somebody do it. I thought it was pretty dope, but everybody wasn't moving on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was just, I don't know, man. It's something about doing what you want to do with yourself and then moving according to how you feel. Like what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But even outside of like fashion and all that, like, man, one of the things I realized, bro, is like my path ain't your path ain't my path ain't his path.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like, our paths may cross each other. We may even run parallel to each other for a long time.
I can see you over there.
Yeah.
But
if you need my help, I'll even come off my path to help you. You know what I'm saying? But my path is still my path. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can watch somebody else do it and you be like, man, that shit look easy. I'm about to do that. And it ain't yours.
Yeah.
It ain't for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or that ain't your time right now.
it ain't your time.
Yeah.
And timing is everything.
That's why I get off social media so much.
Yeah.
I get caught in that.
Bro, you'll be on social media at 9:15 and be gone. Like, you go in and be like,
It's 12:30.
Unknown user. You be like, man, who left?
Cause, bro, like when I went to therapy, like I realized where a lot of my depression would come from, and it would be comparison. Like
It's
I
a
was
killer of joy, bro.
Man, listen, I like as soon as I get a depressing thought from scrolling or whatever, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't even want it to creep back in.
But I'm gonna tell you
I don't want to give it no leeway.
Excuse me. The thing that I think keeps, and of course everybody's different. I can't tell you how to feel about stuff like that. Like the one thing, and I think we talked about this a little bit before. The one thing I realized with social media is I can make this look however I want it to look.
For sure.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're making their lives look like it's something more than it is. And then these other people who sitting at home watching, they scrolling like, man, I just want to do this. Like, there's a lot of people right now who relationships are on the brink of ending because they looking at other people with these fake social media relationships who, like, we remember we was talking about the travel.
Yeah.
Like, I think I want to travel too.
Yeah.
These niggas is scammers. They in Bora Bora because the FDIC just ain't caught up with them yet. But when they come back,
they get back, where they gonna
when
stay?
they get off the plane, bro, the feds is standing there waiting on them. Yeah, we saw you in Bora Bora, and we
saw
just
you
been
in
here
Bora
every day waiting on you to come back.
Bro, I just seen, and I actually told my wife, I was like, anybody that say like, take this like how it is, that everything about marriage is cool, I don't trust them. It's this couple that was on social media, everything. They always showing pictures together, supporting each other, and I'm like, this shit look cool.
Yeah.
And then like a little while ago, maybe about a month ago, I'm like, damn, I see him, but I don't see her. Oh shit, I just saw her, but I ain't see him. Found out they got them divorced. But in front of everybody in the world, you think like shit, they got each other's back, they support each other, been down.
That's why I
Make it
love
happen.
privacy so much. Cause see, if you go through things in private, you can handle them in private. You know what I'm saying? Or if you break up in private, you can, you know what I'm saying, like
Work through your stuff.
work through your things
if that's
in
what
private.
you decide to do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people watch us more than you know what I'm saying, like more than we think. You know what I'm saying? Like how you like picked up on that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not the only one that picked up on that.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I don't see her, I don't see him. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like in regards to me, man, like I would just see people further along in their careers and stuff like that, and I'd be like, dang, man, like I wish I was at that point in my life, or I wish I was, you know what I'm saying, further along in my process. Like I'll see a bunch of, like now, of course, I would see a bunch of like pilot videos of pilots at like Delta, Southwest.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, I can't wait till that's me. You know what I'm saying? And they all say the same thing, you know, just stay on the grind, you know what I'm saying? You'll get there. I mean, and even though that's true, it's like, I'm trying to be where you at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't even know where they at right now.
You right.
Like
That's 100% right.
It ain't your time.
them pictures look like that.
Yeah, you
But,
right.
Like it was
1000%.
funny because I saw this young lady posted about a Delta pilot last week during the presidency, right? The race. He crashing out, went out dressed like Trump, had on his Make America Great hat.
Oh, man, you know how
drunk,
that ended.
He drunk,
Yeah.
moving around the city. Everybody recording him. This go back to Delta. Then now everybody talking. He like, oh, he being investigated for sexual harassment anyways.
Ooh-wee.
So it ain't always what it look like.
Yeah,
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
It's a wrap.
But
you're
also,
right.
I'm about to say, also you gotta even if he is doing it, everything that he's saying that he's doing. I mean, for you in the path, you're putting in the time to be where he is or where you're supposed to be, your
Right.
lane.
Yeah.
People got to realize, like, I try to look at things on social media because I'm not going to say I don't be on it, but I look at it as like, okay, this is possible. And if this is the thing that I want to do, it's possible out there. I don't want to compare myself to him because I ain't start when he started. I ain't been through what he been
Exactly.
through. I just know if this is what I want to do, going trying to get my PMP. It's crazy how the algorithm is. You start talking about PMP and you see
Yeah.
goddamn classes, people talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people been doing it and they got these promotions. I'm like, cool, this thing is a real thing that I can go after. I got to put in my 36, 52 hours to get it, and then you go take the test. Shit, pass it or fail it. I gotta figure out a way to get past that step, and then I can be in that space. It ain't really about damn he there and I'm here. It's like cool. That's a real thing that I can achieve. Now I gotta work my lane.
The one thing about it though, you're right where you're supposed to be when you're there. Like you're at your place in your shooting for your pilot's career right when you're supposed to be there. Like you could have started this as a teenager, right? But
I wish I did.
But
I swear to
let me
God,
tell
I
you
wish I
what's dope
did.
about it. You went and played sports. You learned how to be your own person. You went away. You came back. You realized, like, just because it looks like failure doesn't mean that it is failure. So
100%.
what if you had a jump to do what you're doing now when you were a teen before you learned that, and then you saw failure and you was like, man, fuck it, I don't want to do that shit no more.
Shit, sometimes failure is a thing that drive you to your success.
It's a process. Like the process for everybody is different, but the process is to get you where you're supposed to be. Like you can skip a step and realize years later. When I skipped chapter 13, about learning to lose graciously. Now here I am, fucking eyes watery, snotting out the nose.
Chapter 21 burning up.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So let me tell you what was funny. Like, but when you was talking about the social media thing, this was a post I made in 2019, bro. Somebody shared it. They reshared it and they said, "Remember, you inspire people who pretend not to even see you." So, like, what you're seeing, like, you feel a certain type of way when you like, man, I ain't there. But remember, it's somebody that see you, and they like, man,
boy, you the prime example.
And it might not be about
people in Atlanta ain't seen nothing outside of Atlanta.
That's it.
And you made a decision to go out into a whole nother world,
basically
on your own drive, decision, motivation, and people outside like, man, that motherfucker crazy going out there. But wish they was you.
But I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Like it may not necessarily be about being a pilot or anything, but it's just something to make them say anything. Like you can literally do anything. This man said, "I'm gonna be a pilot," and just decide, like, let me start taking my classes. But the biggest part was you started.
Yeah.
You know how many people sitting at the crib right now, like, tomorrow.
Did I ever tell y'all how that came to be? I don't think so. I'm gonna make it quick.
Hey, so, as long as you need, brother.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what happened. So
yeah, cause Brandon out here.
He ain't want to hear this shit no way.
So look, check me out. So y'all know when I first got out there, I was teaching.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did no research on education in Arizona. Out of 50 states, Arizona's ranked 49th currently in education.
Are they behind Mississippi?
Why do you keep saying that? Somebody else just said that. But yeah, so of course that came with like extremely high stress levels. I was coming home every day pissed.
Yeah.
And I
was about to say crying.
Like, nah. And I'm the type of person, man, like I've always been able to like leave work at work. But it was just spilling over. So I was like, man, I'm gonna take me a mental health day from work. I took off, and this was October 2022. Let me rewind. In May of that same year, Kevin Samuels had passed. I immediately started watching all his content because everybody was talking about him. So, and I know I'm gonna get hella flack for this.
Hey, we got a lot of female,
but look, check me out. Before he even started talking to women, he was talking to men. And I would watch a lot of those videos.
Yeah.
So like that particular day, I was watching one of his videos. He was talking to men, and you know his whole thing about like high value and stuff like that, right? He was like talking about the jobs that these men do, and he mentioned pilot. Mm-hmm. So I did some research because at that time I was like, man, I want something that pays like really well. So I went on Google, typed in top 10 highest paying jobs. Pilot was like number 5. I was like, okay, because like all of the other ones, because at that time I was just like, man, I just need some money. Like,
yeah.
So I think it was neurosurgeon. I was like, nope.
that ain't gonna happen tomorrow.
You feel me? Like family law attorney. I think some type of dentist and like another type of surgeon.
Yeah.
So and then I saw pilot. I was like, okay. So I did some research on pilot, like how long it took. And then I always consult with my middle brother about decisions that I'm about to make that's like basically life changing. So I called him. I was like, hey, big bro, like I'm thinking about being a pilot. Like, what you think? He was like, I mean, because my brother's like super like chill, laid back. just a mellow dude. He was like, I mean, shit, Roger, if you got the balls to do that, you know what I'm saying? Then hey, I mean, you really think you can like fly people and stuff across the world? I was like, bro, I just drove myself across the world with no regard about anything.
Yeah.
And then like a year before that, I just jumped out of a plane at 14th. So it's not fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid to do anything.
Yeah.
So long story short, he's still my mentor to this day. Shout out to Tim. He gave me this guy named Tim's number. And Tim is a pilot for Frontier.
Okay.
Hope I didn't just dox him. But, you know what I'm saying? He was a pilot. I called him. And the first thing he asked me was, why do you want to be a pilot? Because I called him that day. And I was like, man, I'm trying to get some money.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
So he started laughing. He was like, I mean, I'm pretty sure as you go along, like throughout the process, if this is something that you really want to do, then you'll fall in love with it. Like, it'll be more than just about the money. So fast forward to March 2023, I took my first flight, and we call it a discovery flight, aka like a disco flight. And as soon as we got in the air, like, I was more nervous on the way to the airport than I was actually like flying.
Yeah.
So we got in the air, and I was like, yeah,
This it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it, bro. Because like prior to that, I was just like looking for flight schools, looking where I could do the disco flight at. So I did it, bro, and I was like, yeah, like it ain't like I'm 100% for sure. And there's nothing better in life than being sure about something. So I think I said that last episode, but got back down to the ground. I immediately started looking for like flight schools. I called Tim, was like, man, I just took my disco flight. Woo. Like, so what you think? I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, sold. So June of 2023, I want to say June 5th was like my first official day of flight school. And now up until this point, because I think last time I was here, I was still getting ready like for my check ride. So I ended up passing it. Now I'm a certified pilot. So
Congratulations, brother.
appreciate it, man.
Getting them hours under your belt.
Yeah, but yep. So
When you gonna come pick us up?
hey, man, I guess the next time I'm here, because shit, I fly out Saturday. But hey, man, anytime y'all want to get in the air with me, man, hey, let's do it. Because
Shit.
I'm with it, bro.
Just give me
You know
a
what I
couple more
mean?
days notice than you did this time, but
Yeah,
let's do it.
for sure.
That's what's up, brother.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
That's major. That's
appreciate
big
it.
time.
You are the answer to that question.
Am I?
man.
Yeah, you are.
I think it's dope that you move at your own pace, to your own beat, and in
Make
your own direction.
decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need more people that think like you. But to take a little bit of a curve though, like we still do need people that follow.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because if we don't, and we get everybody out here like
Just do it
moving in their own damn
Yeah.
direction, like shit could get real wild, real quick.
I don't think it has to be I don't know the word for it, where it's just like you're just one way.
Yeah.
You can follow in certain spaces of your
Yeah,
life.
absolutely.
And then shit, when I go home, I go a different direction. But at work or in my community, the organization I'm with, I can follow, I can support. Because a lot of times, following you feel like it's just like mindless, but also following is typically supporting a movement, a
True.
decision, a
Yeah.
direction. So
So
you can learn so much in that space as well.
Yeah.
But also be able to stand on your own.
the best leaders have been awesome followers.
For sure.
Because at some point you had to stop and learn and listen to somebody
Yeah.
to get to that point. So
Yeah.
like that's what I learned over time. Like the best followers can sometimes turn into really, really awesome leaders. Because it takes a special person to be the first follower.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
real special person.
So look,
Like-
we take the same analogy of going through that door. The first person go through that door. The second person can kind of watch and see what happens when you go through that door, and then make a decision. Do I want to go through that door? Or do
That's
I want to go
how I
around the
learn.
back?
That's how I learn for
Yeah.
sure. Cause like I'll see you get into something, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I either want that for me or
Oh,
I don't.
But I can make that decision for me.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? That first person can walk through that door. You can see them do it, and it don't mean it ain't for you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying you step back and analyze.
You can gauge what's going on.
I'm cool with that. He might have did it wrong, but I know I can do it right. But sometimes like, no, I'm gonna go around the back.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, hey, honestly, that's the kind of we've talked about social media. We've talked about like decisions and perceptions. What we want to talk about today is that I can't say it as good as Byron's about to drop it for you.
I think you got it, brother. I think you got it.
Man, look.
But it's
Made that transition.
It's the
Smooth in the mud.
the perception that media creates for Black people, and I'm gonna say in America. I don't know too much. You know, you're the diaspora guy.
Oh my God.
But the perception that is created from what the media projects us to be. I know you got a lot of opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you like to start?
It's a lot of places we can start.
Because starting the best one and take us. Because we here for the ride, brother.
Yeah,
man.
That's why I'm sitting back.
Sit back, relax.
That's why I'm chilling.
Man,
Get
look.
comfortable.
I'm here for it.
Look, man. I would say, I don't like the image that we have in the media. I'll start by saying that.
What's the image that you don't like?
I don't like the fact that Black male masculinity gets demonized, because I think as though every other ethnic group can flamboyantly express their masculinity, and it's looked at as being masculine. Like nobody has anything to say about it. But a Black male, especially a heterosexual one, if you have an opinion that goes against the status quo, or if you are living in your masculine, it's toxic, or it's misogyny, or something like that. And not saying that misogyny doesn't exist within our community. I just don't think it exists as much as it gets portrayed to be.
Can we get an example of that, my
I was
brother?
gonna say, what is the masculinity, the Black male masculinity projected in the media look like?
Turn on any Tyler Perry movie.
And what do you see?
You'll see, and I don't want to just put it on Tyler Perry, but you turn on any Tyler Perry movie, if there's a Black man in that movie that got some money and some influence, he's some type of physical abuser, he abuses power, he's a
Psychological abuse,
serial cheater. Like it's just so, basically you're a monster. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of TV shows, especially like mainstream TV shows today, our image, it's either LGBTQ, have no issue with LGBTQ at all, or
what about the T?
have no issue with that at all.
Hey, you don't want them coming at
That's
you.
what get you. That's what get you.
It's either some type of interracial dating propaganda, or just a lack of like strong leadership. Like, so me and my lady was watching Reasonable Doubt, and we don't
It's
like
a TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't like the character. Yeah, we don't like the character. I always get his name wrong. I always call him Spencer, but his name is it's basically Jax's husband. Now, he makes good money. They have a nuclear family, but he isn't the head of that household. She basically makes all the decisions. So it's just, those three images are extremely damaging to our community, because we digest those shows, those images, and you know, our youth sees that as well. So growing up, they think that's who they should be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, And then on top of that, again, I talked about Kevin Samuels earlier. People can say what they want about Kevin Samuels, but one of his main messages was improving our ethnic image, which is why I went on that rant on Instagram that day about how we need to enhance our ethnic image, simply because, and like, I know you're gonna laugh, but it's real shit to me, because I'll take it back to the first episode where I was here. The way I was dressed, I had on t-shirts, some shorts, nothing wrong with that at all. But now when I go out into the world, I'm dressed how I'm dressed right now, because I get more respect that way and people treat me as such. So how you leave your house is media. True, we have certain stereotypes about our community, but we're in control of that simply about what I just said. How you leave your house is media. So if we leave in our houses with bonnets on our head, if we leave in our houses with do-rags, pants sagging off our ass, we're going to get treated as such. We're not going to get no real respect.
And I think a lot of people don't realize, like, in your own community, nobody's going to feel any type of way about you. But if you step outside of your community, you might be the only representation of your community
1,000%.
that a different group of people might see for a week, a month, a year. So you not only, it's not to try to put on a front to them, but it's also to create a level of respect outside of your circle. Mm-hmm. Like, when I step outside, I'm a representation of every black person that the people I work with, I interact with, won't see. So I have to always, in my mindset, I'm gonna come in a way that I feel I respect myself, but also show you that you need to respect me as well.
1,000%. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and no matter whose fault that is in regards to, like, our image in the media, it is what it is at this point, but we do have control over that. In a way, if we don't like the images that we see on TV, we can do exactly what we're doing right now. We can sit down, we can have these conversations, or we can just make our own media platforms and, kind of, put out a counter to that narrative. So again, I just don't like the image that we have in the mainstream media, because that is not a representation of all, black American people.
What do you say to the person that says, this is just who I am?
It's not. And I think that's a bullshit excuse for not wanting to grow and, like, truly understand how powerful image and appearance is. And not saying if you don't wear a 3-piece suit every single day, then you're not trying to improve the community. That's not what I'm saying. Because image is also about how you carry yourself too. I've met plenty of articulate brothers that wear t-shirts and jeans and Jordans or whatever the case may be. It's just, I think if you want the most out of whatever you're trying to be, it's best to just present yourself in the best way possible.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody not to go with the jeans, Jordans, and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But intentionally put it together to be presentable to yourself. Now, that may mean a standard has to change, because I remember that there was a time where I was flip-flops, socks, shorts, wife beater t-shirt, and a dirty hat. Because always an old hat.
Yeah.
But I had to, when I started to try to step up into different spaces, I realized that I wasn't seen. Mm-hmm. And I realized that I have a voice. I want my voice to be heard. It takes a certain standard or a certain level for that to even be an opportunity.
Right.
I think we have to understand that we don't have the freedom that everybody else does to just, if that's who you are, just be yourself. Mm-hmm. Because at some point you're going to need to go outside of your home base to get whatever you're trying to get out of this life.
Yeah.
And we always talk about meet people where they are. Well, your presentation opens their eyes and disarms them, because if I come in there with my shorts, my wife beater, they're armed. They're not going to hear my mind.
Right.
But if I elevate my standard of presentation, like I said, whether it's jeans, Jordans, put it together. and then come in there forward instead of just I'm fucking just hanging here, and bring the presence and the strength of your mind to it. Then you have an opportunity to create some conversation, some discourse, some understanding. Because that's what I feel like a lot of loss is in understanding.
Yeah.
Because if you understand that I'm trying to come here and get exactly what you're going to get in here, I see the value that you see. I'm not trying to shoot nothing up. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm just here as me. But you have to bring yourself a certain way for somebody outside of you and your community to see you.
Yeah, and I also think that we should hold each other accountable in regards to that, because a lot of times what you'll hear, especially from a lot of our women, like I'll complain about seeing bonnets in public. I do that all the time. But what I hear a lot is, oh, well, that's her business. I mind my business. Blah, blah, blah. Look, I think we should go back to telling people what it is. Like, listen, young lady, young man, whatever the case may be, you need to present yourself better than this. Like I don't think y'all understand how much that shit pisses me off. Like, I get so mad at that. And I'm the type of person, if something bothers me, I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm gonna let you know. And it's gonna be with love. Like, I'm never gonna come and disrespect you if I see, you know what I'm saying, you present yourself a certain way. I'll, like, pull you to the side and let you know something. But at the end of the day, and look, here's the biggest thing about it all, though. Obviously, we have different interactions with the police than non-black people. So when things get plastered all over these media outlets, like NBC News and CNN and stuff like that, it's harder to gain sympathy because you need sympathy from the masses in certain like situations when it comes to these cases. It's harder to have sympathy when whomever has been, murdered by the police or mishandled by the police. It's harder to have sympathy when they look a certain way from their perspective. Because they'll look, I'm gonna tell you why. They'll say, well, the way she carried herself, she deserved basically to die because she out here popping her ass, shaking her ass, wearing bonnets in public, looking all crazy. Basically, they'll justify that by saying her image, you know what I'm saying, is the reason why she got killed, or his image is the reason why I believe he should be killed.
It didn't help in this situation.
Exactly. And then, of course, you'll have the people come back and say, well, if you go back to the 60s, you'll see us getting lynched in suits. But it was more of an outcry from our community to get involved simply because this young man was wearing his suit and tie and he still got he still got murdered in cold blood by whomever that person was. So it's like,
let me ask you this real quick.
What's up?
Do you feel like, and you said the word sympathy, do you feel like people would have more sympathy if you, and I'm just going to use the dramatic image of a three-piece suit on. If somebody got shot out at a police stop with a three-piece suit on, do you feel like there's an increased amount of sympathy for them than it is somebody who comes out with a wife beater and shorts?
From an international standpoint, yes. Now, as a community, we're going to be outraged regardless. Because George Floyd didn't have on a three-piece suit, but the whole world jumped behind that. I mean, I have my own theories on that, but again, it got its own wave of like sympathy in a way.
So that's honestly who I was thinking of, because he didn't have he had the image that we're talking about, and it became a worldwide cry.
Yeah, for sure.
Outcry. To me, that kind of counters what you're saying. I feel like people, and maybe it's a new time, but people don't like to see inhumanity. To me, there's sympathy for inhumanity. Now, disrespect, they let that shit fly all the time. But inhumanity is something that, to me, is seen, has empathy, sympathy, all those things that I can connect myself to, and it can create a movement, rather than, I don't think it really mattered what he had on or what he displayed to the world.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I'm saying from our perspective, I'll give you another point. With Emmett Till, the only images we saw of Emmett Till was in shirt, tie, slacks. That situation, that popped off a lot of like uprisings.
Yeah.
Whether it was violent, whether it was non-violent. The world and also other people in the world turned up.
But again, to me, that's people getting behind inhumanity.
So, okay, cool. But my point is, again, being that it happens to us, no matter what the situation is, no matter what that person had on, we gonna get behind it. With the whole George Floyd thing, I think a lot of people, with that situation, I think it was so mainstream that other people choose to get involved, because if you on the wrong side of that, if you're on the insensitive side of that, you're going to get, I don't want to say canceled, but you're going to get a lot of negative backlash.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to be on the wrong side of the politics of that.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
I think a big part of the George Floyd situation was, and these are just my thoughts, man. I think we saw it happen from the beginning, and we saw it all the way to the end. So there was no guessing what happened in between, because that's what sometimes outside of our community, that's where they detach themselves.
What did he do?
Yeah, that's the part for them to be able to detach themselves. For
sure.
Well, what did we? I'm sure it was something that happened before it started recording.
Yeah.
Or like you said, what did he do to get them to do this to him? Yeah. So because they saw it from beginning to end, there was no way to minimize it, demonize him, or anything. They tried. They was like, oh, well, he went in the store. Like, no, we saw it. You know what I'm saying? The world saw it. So it was like, it was easier to empathize, sympathize, relate, all of that to that outside of our community, but also outside of the country, right? Because people here, again, still figured out a way to pull their hands back, right? Outside of our community, right? And we know what community we're talking about. It was, the only way, to me, it's easier for them to attach to situations that happen to people who look like them, because then they can kind of say, well, that could have been my nephew, niece, son, daughter, brother, sister, right?
Yeah.
We do the same thing.
I'm about to say that's natural.
Right. But because we've experienced such hurt, heartache, despair, trouble, everything else, it's easy for us to relate to everybody else in the world, no matter what color they are, right? Yeah. When we see bad shit happen, we jump on board. And it's actually it's still hard for them.
Yeah.
It's still hard for them to, like, when it's up, we can, like, it's still people who watched that and was like, they still figured out a way to make him a bad guy in the situation, right? Like, he's handcuffed, hands behind his back. It was like, he shouldn't even been there.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even been there. He should have been wherever he was supposed to be. He should have been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's when you've been brought up a certain way and you can make a conscious effort to not attach yourself to anything dealing with our community. So, like I said, it's easy for us to empathize and sympathize with everybody else in the world. Meanwhile, everybody else in the world, and it goes back years and years and years, because literally, like, let's just be real, white people made it so that damn near everybody else in the world saw us a certain way.
Yeah. I was just about to make a point about that.
It's not really, it's not so much media. It was just period. Like,
yeah, with him saying
person,
when you come out the house is media.
Well, but not even with coming out of the house. It was just the way that they portrayed us, period. Like, they've always, like, like when you said like during the civil rights period, right? Mm-hmm. It was still a way to portray us as thugs as just being humans.
Yeah.
Even when we were seen as 3/5 of a man, they could still portray us as being monsters.
Beast. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, look how big he is. He gotta be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because we were built different, because we were built I ain't gonna get into that whole conversation, but we were built different, right?
Yeah.
So then that turned us into monsters, right? Yeah. So it's the way that they portrayed us to everybody else in the world. Like you think when white people went to India to get spices and gunpowder and everything, they didn't have black people as slaves? That let them see us as the monsters that they portrayed us to be. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So this ain't just start with the media. This ain't just start with us walking out of the house in wife beaters. I'm not like,
so I get what you're saying. When I said walking out of the house, is more like what he's saying. When we walk out the house, we're in this position. We're seen this way.
Yeah. But honestly, at this point, it's really, it's not even to show who you are. It's really just to try to turn them from what they already think.
Of course.
Because it's not, like, we can't walk out the house and they like in the 3-piece suit, they're like, oh, he must be going to see his probation officer. He must be going to see his parole officer. Because that's the automatic thought for us. Like it's,
I mean, yeah, like 1000%. But I'm gonna give you an example. So like recently, what I started doing was I would start running my errands dressed professionally. So some time ago, and I like to do my own like personal social science experiments. So, because I like to do like surveys and stuff like that, just because I like to see how people think and, you know what I'm saying, like how they process certain things. Yeah. So I came up with this own theory, like my own test. And this actually went viral by somebody else online like a few years back or so. But I went to the car dealership dressed 2 different ways. Same car dealership. Maybe 2-3 weeks apart. First time I went, I was dressed regular. T-shirt, had some sweats on, had a nice pair of kicks. I walked in, people were respectful. But it was just a regular in and out type of thing. Looked at some cars. I mean, I didn't go there to buy nothing. It's just a test, just to see. You know what I'm saying? A couple of weeks later, I got this really nice blue suit, shirt and tie, nice pair of brown shoes, the whole 9. I walked in. I immediately got help. Immediately.
What's the demographic of the people?
So I'm in Arizona, so it's mainly white and Hispanic. Okay. So it's probably like 1 or 2 black people in there. So I go in, I get greeted. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Are you looking for anything in particular? I said, no, I'm kind of just looking around, blah, blah, blah. I kind of want a truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you just, update me about the trucks that you got? Whatever the case may be. So, oh, yeah, sir, of course. What's your name, by the way? My name's Roger Ward. I'm just going to call you Mr. Ward. I didn't get that treatment when I first went in.
They ain't even ask you your first name.
They could care damn less.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So immediately I noticed a difference in how I was treated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, we are in 100% control, because Leo Cohen went on the Breakfast Club and, he was asked about why he funds a lot of the artists that he has on the label, like when they talk about guns, violence, drugs, whatever the case may be. And he said, because it makes me money, simply. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what he said. I get paid off of it. I got a family to feed.
Yeah.
So,
but you also have to realize that the young artist, he probably had the same answer.
I mean, well, yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they purposely put certain images out of us. And that's, you know what I'm saying, to continue, the things that are being done, the things that are being said, to continue to keep the narrative what it is. But also
continue to create that subconscious bias.
But also, in response to that, we have the ability to counter that with the way we act, dress, talk, things of that nature. So it's just, that's why I made a conscious decision to say, okay, you know what? Instead of wearing so-and-so, I'm going to wear this instead. I literally gutted my entire wardrobe. Like, I rarely wear tennis shoes anymore. It's so rare. The only time I might wear tennis shoes is if I go work out. That's about it. Other than that, like I took my credit cards and stuff like that. I went to Aldo, went to Express, stuff like that, just to, you know what I'm saying, and Target as well, just to change my perception and my image, because I fell in love with the way that they treated me that day at the dealership. Like, I love that. So I was like, you know what, if like the people at the dealership can do that, imagine what the everyday human is thinking when they see me pull up in a suit or they see me pull up dressed professionally. True, there are some people out here that could say what Byron just said. He's probably going to go see his probation officer. Okay, fine. But the majority are going to say, I wonder what he does for a living. Because I know for a fact that's what I do. One of my favorite hobbies is people watching. I will go to the mall, the park, whatever the case, and just watch people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just because I love to study human beings and behavior. And I always think to myself, like every time I see somebody dressed professional, I'm like, man, I wonder what they do. Like, I wonder if he's a dentist, or I wonder if she's a high-ranking CEO at a Fortune 500. Yeah. Like, I just wonder what they do, like, on a day-to-day basis.
No, I feel you. Honestly, and maybe it's just me coming from my background. I've never thought he's going to see his probation officer. Every time I see somebody that's dressed like you're describing, I think, I wonder what he's doing. I always think about like what time it is, because like folks that move around at 10 o'clock during the day, like, bro, you either don't have a job or you gotta have some money because you got the freedom. Yeah. But it's never. I really don't. When I see somebody dressed affluently, I don't think of a negative. Now, they fucking right might be going to see their probation.
They might be.
But if you think about
they might be Pablo, Byron, you know what I'm saying? He might be Escobar.
If you think about most of the media that's portrayed, when you see somebody that's in something formal or put together, it's an elevated space in life. Or aiming for an elevated space in life. Yeah. So I can see how, I mean, that's an example of presentation, Chris, the perception. Right. And as much as I would love to tell somebody, just be what you are, comfortable, you have to understand the position that we as a people are coming from. Right. We this is the, like, we always talk about, like, it's 3rd and 15. We don't know how we got here. But it's 3rd and 15. Right. Now what are we gonna do? Right. And what we have to do is to create a different perception, and we have to do it because we can't rely on the media. We can't rely on anybody outside of ourselves. We have to create the perception of, and even if you decide to go out there, you have to bring your mind. If you go out there with your hoodie on, bring your mind. Because when they talk, if you get the opportunity to talk to somebody, show them that you more than what they might think or what they saw on some movie or a video or a TV show. Right.
So I think that's where I operate from. I think I operate more from that space, because my mentors, a bunch of men I've been around for a very, very long time, like, when it's time to put on, they put on. Yeah. They like,
and you can, for sure.
Yeah. And that's what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen when it's that time, be that. The person in the room with the t-shirt on is the one who feel like, I ain't have to come in here to do this. Like that was what I was taught. Like, and I know it takes, you have to get to a certain place in life to be able to move like that. But like my mentor was like, when I walk in a room and I see all these guys in here dressed up and it's this one man sitting in the back with a t-shirt on, that's who I really want to talk to. So, because that's
depend on the room. It always depends on the room.
That's the guy that came in with like.
So I actually, when we first started, I thought about, and if you look holistically, I feel like they're outliers, but they're still there. People who I don't have to show you, because I already have what I want built behind closed doors. So I don't need to present. I don't need you to think a certain way about me, because I know that I'm secure. You never gave me $1 or gave me any advice. I'm straight. But that's not the majority.
For sure. And then also, like, another point I wanted to make, what that does for self. You know what I'm saying? Like, putting your best foot forward appearance-wise. Look, I think that I can make any one of my outfits look pretty good. But it's just something different about when I throw my suit jacket on and I'm tying my tie and I put on my whatever cologne, whether it's Aqua de Gio or Chanel Blue or like whatever.
French, ain't it? Aqua de
Gio. It's one of my favorites.
I say mine's different. That's my Armani. Aqua de Gio.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites. But yeah, man, it's just something about like the way I feel, like how I get in and out of the car is different when I'm dressed.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I just encourage, especially all of my black people, to just like pick a day, any day out of the week, and just run your errands dressed professionally, and just see how people treat you, and just see how you feel about yourself. Because I think, we was talking about confidence earlier. That's a major confidence booster.
What's like, more important, how they treat you or how you feel about yourself?
How you feel about yourself, for sure. I would say that ranks the highest. But if how I feel about myself is 1A, how people treat me is 1B. Because who doesn't want to be treated nicely? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, also at the same time, if you want people to treat you nicely, you got to treat yourself nice as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, if I take the time to put thought into, or like to really put love and thought into how I'm going to present myself, then obviously I'm going to get that back from people. Might not be every single person in the world. Yeah. Nothing is a one size fit all. But most people are going to see you like a different way. You're going to get way more respect. You know what I'm saying? I think.
Initial.
Yeah, like for sure. Of course,
I don't know if it's
that's where it starts.
Acknowledgement. I don't know if it's respect. It's acknowledgement.
Look, I got tons of respect from people that I never had a conversation with. Like, I didn't know those people at the dealership. They respected me as if I was some.
But was it respect, or
they saw
were
you.
they right? Was it respect, or did they see what they thought was a payday?
Right. That doesn't mean respect.
I mean, I can't.
That doesn't necessarily.
It just means they saw
respect.
you.
They could have got a payday out of me when I was in my sweats and t-shirt, but I wasn't Mr. Ward at that time.
Right.
So when you address somebody as Mr. or Miss,
or I'm trying
that's
to get
a sign of respect.
I'm trying to get a check.
I mean,
I'm a salesperson.
A check or a finesse.
Yeah,
anytime you go to job, I mean, like anytime you go to work, you looking for a check, but you're gonna go the extra mile. If if somebody come in there and they like dapper from head to toe, you're gonna be like, I really want this sale. You know what I'm saying? Because only maybe one or two people acknowledged me when I walked in with the t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Damn near all of them was like, man, look, I want his money. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't necessarily see it as necessary. Maybe not. And I don't want to sound like an ass about it, but it may not be so much respect as, like he said, acknowledgement. Like, oh, it does look like he's here to spend money with us, or he's here to do.
Low key, you could look like a mark.
Yeah, but and I'm not.
Whoa.
Yeah, like I'm looking because I'm about to get paid off of him.
Yeah,
like he coming in like chances are, if you're coming in and you dapper from top to bottom, you're not about to haggle me about anything. Because you got it to spend. Yeah. But you come in with a t-shirt on, it's just like on the Cosby Show. The episode when he went to go buy a vehicle, he put on jogging pants, put on a sweatshirt, his jacket, right? He go in, he was like, man, I'm not about to give y'all this on this car, man. They was like, all right, this the deal we can do, blah, 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 blah. He was like, all right, I could do that. And then, what's my man? Gilbert Godfrey walked in and was like, Dr. Huxtable. Loud as a motherfucker, right? Yeah. And they was like,
Doctor?
Right, but they weren't thinking that he was a doctor.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But I guarantee they probably would have had to work for it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? If he went in there dressed like a doctor.
So he went in dressed low key because they're more susceptible to actually understand that you're coming in to haggle with them because they feel like you don't got it. If you come in, and this is just me in sales, if you come in looking like you got it, listen, I used to sell mattresses, bro. This dude came in and dropped 20 bands with me. He said, you ain't gonna give me no pillows? I'm like, give you pillow for what?
You could buy.
It's just $20,100 for the pillows. You come in, you looking at the $1,200 mattress, and you like, man, just let me get it for $1,000, man. It's probably easier for me to give you a free. Yeah, I throw the pillow, a free delivery or something, just because like I see what you got. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you got. I've been you. You see what I'm saying? So like I think, and I'm not saying that it was. I can't speak for those people that saw you that day, and but sometimes it's not necessarily respect that we think, the kind of respect that we think it is. It can be a certain level of respect because they're thinking about your money, but I could also understand what you're saying. So
when I was thinking when we've been talking through this, is a lot of times some of the struggles that most people have is they don't feel seen or heard. And when you walk into a room a certain way, at least I'm seen. Now from there, you got to do your thing, but at least I'm seen. If I walk into a room with my t-shirt and it got holes in it, with my flip-flops with socks that got holes in them, people will walk over you.
You could be seen just seen in the wrong light. Yeah, just seen in the wrong light. Sometimes it's the let me tell you, one of the biggest things I respect when you do come in that room with your pressed shirt on and your shirt and your tie, and you ain't even got the 3-piece. You can look like you just left work. Yeah, you can look like you just left. You loosen up that tie a little bit, and somebody and our folks say, "Hey, you look good, boy. You're sharp now. You're sharp." You know what I'm saying? Because they do realize that you put on. You know what I'm saying? For me, I take it just may be because I have and this is just how I feel. Like, I love black folks so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my community so much. And so when they tell me that, especially when I hear from like older people, I take that as a different level of respect sometimes than anything else. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Because they'll actually say it. Other people be thinking it. Like my generation, younger, maybe like, oh, that nigga clean. But they don't necessarily say it. I think it takes a certain level of respect for a person to out their mouth who don't know you to just be like, hey, you look good. Yeah. You look good, young man. You know what I'm saying? Like like if I'm here to buy something or not, you know what I'm saying? Somebody just come out their face like, hey, you look good today, bro. That's just me.
I can dig that. And look, in that instance, they're not looking for anything from you. So I think that's the only difference between you walking in a dealership and them approaching you like that versus somebody saying, just going out their way to give you that compliment. Yeah. Is they're not getting anything from you. I respect the way that this man put himself together today and just step out and live the world. But if it's always when you got somebody that's got potentially an ulterior motive, it could be a finesse. And not true like respect.
Those people do exist. But the majority of people that see you just like that, whether they say it or not, they're acknowledging, and they, for the most part, are respecting the way that you are presenting yourself, which is why when I do dress like that, people talk to me a little bit more because they want to know what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they want to know who I am simply because of how I'm dressed. It's the same reason why, again, like my favorite hobby is the people watch. I might not go up to these people and ask them what are they doing, but that the first thought is always, I wonder what he does.
No, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it has to be something that's LinkedIn level, like what that person does or like what she does. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of women dressed too, like whatever the occasion is. I always think to myself, how many employees does she have, or like I wonder what she does, or. And like I just come up with my own positive assumptions about what it is that this person does, and simply because of how they dressed.
Exactly, you have the opportunity in your mind to do that because of their presentation. So I think that's a key point.
And then I also decided to start going to places where people dress like that. So like, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do it tomorrow, but I really wanted to go down to Cam Newton's I think it's a cigar bar.
Fellowship?
Yeah, I really want to go down to
Fellowship is nice.
Fellowship. Because I respect
y'all go down to Fellowship, get you a cigar.
for sure.
Take it.
I respect the fact.
The lamb's house is banging.
I respect the fact that he has a dress code. I love that. Like, I love that because it forces you to say, you know what? I'm going to present myself in a way that's respectable to most people. Not saying that you can't get respect not dressed that way. But again, image and appearance is that's everything. That's everything. That's the first time somebody sees you.
Define everything.
So what do you mean by when you say that? Like, define everything.
Everything. Like,
yeah. So like, to me, how you present yourself in public, that's going to determine how people decide, or like what relationship people decide to have with you, or even if they want to pursue one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll give you a couple examples. Like in regards to women. If you dress a certain way, I'm going to feel a certain way about you.
Pop.
Right. I'm either going, I've decided based on how you have presented yourself, I've decided what relationship I want to pursue with you, whether it's short term or long term. And then if you a dude and we just so happen to be working in the same field, or we out at the same place, I'm more likely to go up to a dude that's dressed nicely and like presented itself well to say, hey brother, you look good, you know what I'm saying? Or like spark a conversation with him, you know what I'm saying, based on somebody who's not. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to determine what kind of relationship I pursue with you. Or, you know what I'm saying, like how basically I choose to perceive you.
Let me ask you this. Does that sound shallow at all to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother said, "Cause I'm a shallow ass nigga." Boy.
I'm about to say it's fine to be, as long as I just want to see if you're thinking that as well.
For sure.
And it's cool to trade shallow waters.
I'll be the first person to say I'm extremely judgmental. Yeah. I'm gonna judge you.
Yeah.
Because as humans,
we know, we heard on that live.
Yeah, for sure. Like
on them stories.
And I think we as people should. I don't think we should allow people to shame us into not judging people.
So let me ask you this.
Look. Wait. Here's my thing. Here's my thing, bro.
And with the faces.
I think people should be judged. That's a natural human reaction.
For sure.
I don't think it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, people do take it far, but people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people do their own thing with whatever. But for the most part, I do think we should judge people.
I think judging is natural. What I do feel like we have control of is condemnation.
For sure. Yeah. Now,
I don't think you need to condemn.
Yeah, I'm not going to shit on you. But I am going to think differently about somebody who's in a suit versus somebody who's not. Or somebody who's presenting themselves affluently versus somebody who's not.
Can you get past the appearance? Because what if the mind is, let's say somebody went up.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably cuss you out because I'm like, the way you think and the way you talk, why the hell are you dressed like this?
Because I don't need them.
What you mean?
Because I don't need them.
It ain't about them.
In that person's mind, it could be.
It could be.
The presentation is for them. It's not for me. I'm good.
I mean, sure. It could not be for them. And I'm not saying that you should do things based on how other people feel. But I do think opinions matter when it comes to things like that. Because, true, like, I don't want people to get caught up in what other people say. You know what I'm saying? Because that can drive you crazy because you can't please everybody. It's people that'll still hate you no matter how you dressed.
Nigga talked about Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
He dressed like a peasant,
I'm pretty sure, like, no matter where I go, like, I'm going to still get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, judged the wrong way or, like, whatever the case may be. Yeah, sure. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hell of a combination right there.
Hey, it's better than Brandon Tiny.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But it's just, you know, I just
think gonna watch this shit.
Anyway, not to this point.
I just think,
not all the way on this end.
At the end of the day, bro, I just think it's best for us to put our best foot forward when it comes to our image and appearance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not against that.
Yeah,
I'm not at all.
I'm not against it. But I do feel like it's all in what you want. what you're looking for and who you're looking for it from. Because like I wholeheartedly hear what you're saying. I just came from a community where I don't think it carried the same weight. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like I came from a tech community. They don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but let me ask you this: are they majority black?
I think
because I kind of know what demographic you're talking from.
But I also but I also feel like I feel like it's a growing community and it's kind of the same across the board.
What you mean?
Like I feel like I don't think they look like I can honestly say I don't feel like they looked at me any different for wearing a t-shirt or coming in a 3-piece. Yeah. Like coming in a 3-piece, they be like,
what the fuck you got going on?
You gonna be hot as fuck cold in this shit in a server room. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Like that was more of their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Excuse me, but we're also talking about the age demographic is different. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
The people and that was top down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things that was just what I noticed. Like I remember like when I first started at the one company I was working for, I was going in polos and slacks. And every day I was seeing like my director was coming in with shorts and sneakers on.
They had shorts on?
Bro, I wore shorts every day during the summer.
That's different, right?
It was because you was coming to work and be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Of course I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? There's a time, but I also feel like there's a time and place for everything. I'm not
gonna go to the gym like this.
No, I'm not necessarily talking about the gym. But for me, even like I understand wanting people to perceive me a certain way, but I'm also about my comfort. So even in my t-shirt and my jeans and my sneakers, I'm gonna be received a certain way.
So I honestly I've been thinking, like, I don't know if it has to be like a 3-piece suit. That's the example we've been using. But when I look at you, it looks like you put it together. And I used that earlier. Like it's intentionally put together for presentation. Mm-hmm. You feel comfortable in it. You feel respect to yourself with it, and that exudes when you move through a space.
Right.
I think we can gotta go back to the bonnet on your head, the flip flops, the wife beater, walking in different spaces. That's different than what you will present because it's still put together with intention to me.
Right. And I think that's where we have to include that part in the conversation. Because it sounds like there is no median for it.
Well, that's why I was saying you can go put your Jordans on, your jeans on, your t-shirt, but just make sure it's put together with intention. Mm-hmm. So when you walk in somebody, it's not like you just threw something on, because then there's a different respect for. They just threw it on and they put it together.
Yeah, I think this conversation can go on. It's one of the ones that we can go on and on and on about. We got to we can't even say we got to bring them in again. And we can't say
when.
Yeah, when. Shit, we're going to come to Arizona and talk to you in your area.
No shoes.
No shoes, right. We're going to sit out.
That'll be a dope thing, man. I'm with it.
Yeah. Man, you got to come to Nationals, man. Or we talking too late to you. We should have started talking to you earlier.
I mean,
you should have flew to Nationals.
Could. But
shit, fly us. Save me a trip. I mean.
It's tricky with that, man, because it's like when I was playing flag football with y'all, like when I was here, I was in some of the best football shape ever. You know, football shape and regular shape.
Different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Different.
Yeah. And tried to play flag football out there, but it just wasn't the same. And
probably, you know, it was 137 degrees.
I mean, yeah, that too. But also, it's 5-man instead of 8-man.
Oh, yeah.
The fields are way shorter.
Come on home, brother.
It's not a
see you in Davenport.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, like we got a group chat, meet up for practice. It ain't none of that like that, man. So I'm like, y'all can have it. I'm gonna just go to the gym, run. Like I still train like an athlete, but I haven't ran and like caught passes.
That shit is different though.
It's different, man.
Geo is different than
Listen,
different.
all we need you for is a strong 5.
A game though. A game.
Now I'm good for a go route now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still running, I'm still sprinting, stuff like that. Like I'm good for some go routes.
Some of these,
but coming in and out of them breaks, I'm a little slow now.
I feel like some of these teams we're about to see, you can go out there and run it like Debo. You can curve them off a little bit if you need to.
Yeah.
Take it easy out the backfield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because one thing about it, man, it like, you know, we could say it and be joking or be serious. When that ball hits your hand, it's like riding a bicycle.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It like some of it's muscle memory too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll pick him.
Hold on. What's like riding a bicycle?
Once he get that ball in his hand, man. Because Roger got the in and out now.
Yeah, but football different.
I know football is
your
different.
Your mind can think you went that way, but your body might still be here.
But we also still talking about flag football.
True. I'm talking about flag football too. It's some days I'm like, my knees is not finna handle this. So
and Roger's in a different shape from all of us. Roger in a different shape from all of us.
He ain't played football. That shit different, dog.
That man in good shape, man. That man out there training
really
with the scorpions shape, with the scorpion and diamondback rattlesnakes, man.
Hey, you in hella shape,
bro. I saw a real live rattlesnake when I was hiking.
You ain't had no shoes on?
No, I definitely had on shoes when I was hiking. That's a different level. I only go barefoot when I'm just in plain grass.
Okay.
Right. Other than that, nah.
But I be thinking artificial grass because shit like, and man, to me, Arizona's the closest thing to Australia. The level of dangerous
out there
is in Arizona is close to Australia.
Really heard,
I was probably oblivious.
You know, the rattlesnake be like, bro. I heard it and I saw it and I was like, wow, like
a wild one too,
bro. I was like, damn, these things like,
wild one.
Like all of them wild.
Not the pit one. Not the pit kind.
Not the domesticated.
Not the domestic one. Not the ones niggas keeping in their house. No, the wild one.
Ain't nobody ever made a rattlesnake a pet.
Bro, you ever heard somebody say, man, so and so mean as a rattlesnake?
Yeah,
you ever heard somebody say that?
Yeah.
I saw a video of a rattlesnake bite itself.
I seen it. You might have sent it to me.
Yeah, that's mean as a rattlesnake. That's what they mean, bruh. He bit himself, bruh.
Why?
Because part of him was sitting in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, and he thought it was another snake or so. Yeah.
Hit himself.
Get him up out of there.
Right.
Hey, will they die from their own poison?
I feel like probably.
That shit bad.
Probably.
Yeah. Hey man, always like to ask, I guess, the final question. It's called dropping dimes. If you could lead the people, what would be your last dime of the day?
I would probably say, just to kind of piggyback off of, you know, the things that we were saying earlier, just run your own race. I heard Sha'Carri Richardson say before the Olympics, and this was probably a couple years ago, like when she was kind of going through her situation, she was saying that, you know, I'm not running against the other runners. Like I'm running against the clock. You know what I'm saying? So I think in this situation, I guess I'm speaking to myself, but like truly just focus on your race, because the only time you get to start to lose the race, I guess, is when you looking.
So watching the person next to you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you looking at the people next to you, because we all gonna get there at some point. Like whatever we're working towards, whatever we're trying to get out of life, you'll get there eventually, as long as you like lay the groundwork and you just work and, you know, pin your ears back and just get it done. The time frame doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to run your race, stay focused, and don't let anything outside of that distract you, and align yourself with people who have the same mindset. I think that's very important too. So, yeah.
I think that time frame doesn't matter is important.
Yeah.
Because we can get so locked in on what we think. You're like, I'm gonna give myself 9 months to a year to get this done, and God be like,
Yeah.
I am my boy.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, then life happens, and you, like back in the day, your ass working at Payless Shoes in them 9 to 12 months.
Yeah.
And then God opened a door for you while you at work so that you see is when I want you to have it, my boy.
Yeah. That's true.
No,
go ahead.
I actually just today saw a quote from Usain Bolt. He was like, I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds, and folks give up after 2 months for the goals that they chasing for their life.
Yeah.
Put in the time, man, and just keep going. Because in my mind, if you keep going, that's the more opportunities you have to learn, the more opportunities you have to succeed, to fail, to develop. So when it is that time, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, you're ready for the moment. But if you, shit, it ain't happen, so I'm going to quit. When the moment comes, whether it could be fucking tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you quit, you're not ready for that moment.
1,000%.
So just continue to run your race, and you'll be there in your time.
And be okay with failing. It's not a fail. You're gonna learn something in there. Trust me. Even in what feels like a failure moment, you're learning something, right? So then when you jump back in, the next time, I already know what that looked like. Or even if you decide, hey, this path ain't for me, right?
Yeah.
You learn something in that process so that when you move on to the next, you can be like, I saw what that looked like. I'm okay with it. Like the time, this don't scare me no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? So man, be okay with failing, but learning in the process.
Fail forward, baby.
Yeah, man.
Mistakes make us great.
Hey,
love it.
There you go.
Welcome back, brother.
Man, welcome back. Welcome back,
It's always
Roger.
good to be back, man.
Always good to have you, my man.
Man, always. Another good episode with my man Roger. Another good episode of Dropping Dymes podcast, period. Also, www.droppingdymes.com. Dimes with a Y.
It's the holiday season,
Swing by
baby.
there, man. Get your hoodies,
holiday season,
t-shirts, your baseball caps, your toaster ovens, the nose rings.
Toaster ovens is pretty much just donating to us.
Because the tariffs is out, baby. The tariffs is on the way.
You know what y'all did.
We want to apologize. We want to apologize. Because we was like, Madam President Harris.
So look, we shot an episode before the election, so we just we're claiming it.
We was claiming it.
And then
fell a little short.
And it came out after the election.
I mean, I don't know if we should get it.
Nope, that's right.
Nah. Just know that you vote against your best interest. Hey, we love y'all. See y'all on the next one. It's all love.
All love, baby.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I